Chapter 24. Captain Simon. Vilmos no longer bothered with his fancy disguise. When he met the captain of the guard in the courtyard, with the king's swollen wolf beside him, the captain was startled at the magician's changed appearance. He wouldn't have recognized him at all if it weren't for the blonde hair, the familiar cloak, and the snake ring on his finger. "Traitor?" the captain asked, wrinkling his brow in distaste. "Captain Simon," said Vilmos, bowing respectfully. "I am afraid I have terrible news. It has aged me, as you can see by my face, but I've come to ask for your assistance." "Where is the king?" demanded the captain, noticing Seely. Something strange is happening, he thought. But what? "Prince Andor has kidnapped him," said Vilmos. "Nicholas sent word to me through the crystal ball." "Andor? Kidnapped his own father? Nonsense." The captain folded his arms. "If you recall, Andor left without his father's permission. Now why would he do that if he wasn't up to something?" "What you're saying is ridiculous. I've known that boy for years." "But he is young, and so easily influenced, easily guided." Vilmos watched the captain's face closely. "He's been plotting with King Harmon, who wants to combine the realms of Ragnar and Pavel. You know this has always been Harmon's dream. It's no secret." The captain said nothing. "Harmon wants Andor to be king in his father's stead," said Vilmos. "Andor will marry one of Harmon's daughters and the realms will be united." "But the kings are friends." "Things are not as they seem, Captain," said Vilmos with a stricken look. "King Nicholas trusts me. You can ride to Ragnar to find out the truth, but by that time your beloved King Nicholas could be dead." The captain stopped shaking his head. Vilmos hurried on. "Harmon's army will support Andor in overthrowing Nicholas. We must fight Harmon. For the moment I am the king's regent." Captain Simon's mind was spinning with this new information. It seemed incredible, but Vilmos was so serious, it was hard not to believe him. "The alliance between Ragnar and Pavel is strong," said the captain. "King Harmon will not break it." "Andor has fed Harmon lies," said Vilmos. "You can win over anyone with lies, if you lie well enough." Had the captain looked up at that moment, he would have seen the cunning in the magician's eyes, but he was so distracted he didn't notice. "Andor's not a man of the Jun song," said Vilmos. "He told Harmon that King Nicholas had no intention of giving him Bear in exchange for Ralston. And then the sly youngsters stirred up so much gossip and fear in Bear, they feel betrayed by their kings and are ready to fight. As we speak, Andor gathers forces in Ragnar." "I can't believe I am to take orders from you, Traitor." "King Nicholas has always said that whoever commands the wolf Seely has his confidence," said Vilmos. "Why don't you try?" Captain Simon stepped forward warily. Should he try to command the wolf? What would King Nicholas want him to do? "Come, Seely, stand by me," he said. The wolf's hackles rose, and he bared his teeth. "You have to earn the wolf's trust," said Vilmos. "Step away, Traitor," said the captain. "Let's see if the wolf will come to me then." Vilmos took a few swift strides towards the door. Immediately the wolf followed him, circling the magician and turning to face Captain Simon. "Come to me, beast," said the captain, trying to make his voice deep, like the king's. He didn't like the way the magician was watching him. "Come." This time the wolf leapt and his forelegs landed heavily on Captain Simon's chest. Surprised, The captain staggered sideways, trying to keep his balance. The wolf's teeth snapped at his neck without touching his skin, making a gruesome sound in his ear. "Get him off me!" he shouted. The magician made a strange sound, and the wolf fell back on all fours, pacing this way and that between the two men. "The wolf obeys you," said the captain, his brow furrowed. "So it seems I must treat you as the king's regent." He shook his head. "This is a very strange turn of affairs. If I find you're lying, Trayton—" "You must do your loyal duty to your king, even when things seem strange," the magician interrupted. He had said the magic word. Duty was sacred to Captain Simon. "All right, but on the battlefield you answer to me," said the captain, straightening his broad shoulders. "Of course, Captain Simon," replied Vilmos, who had no intention of answering to the captain at any time. "Now let us see about restoring the kingdom. Command your men." At Ragnall Castle that evening, hundreds of people celebrated Irina's return with dancing and feasting. Local farmers and villagers streamed in through the open gates and discovered the castle courtyard lit with candles. In the great hall, benches were laden with steaming platters of food and bouquets of autumn flowers, goldenrod, pink chrysanthemums, blue asters and delicate green rhododendron. The royals sat at the head of the main table. Behind each throne hung ceremonial banners embroidered with the emblems of Ragnall: the hare of love, the sword of wisdom, the wolf of truth, and the goddess Jun. William and Octavia were seated close by as honoured guests. Musicians played joyous melodies on violins, flutes, lyres and drums. A single beautiful note, sounded on a bone flute, announced Irina's arrival. She entered the hall, followed by Amycus. The homemade dress of patched linen was gone. Irina now wore a gown of violet silk, beaded with crystals and pearls. The luxurious fabric rustling over her skin was an unfamiliar sensation. Equally strange was the feeling of the gold crown on her head. Irina was uncomfortable being the centre of attention. Hundreds of pairs of eyes were fixed on her. "Do I look like what they were hoping for?" she wondered. She forced a smile to her lips and wished, not for the first time, that she was outside, galloping on Adriel under the new moon. She didn't want to be stared at and judged. King Harmon and Queen Chloe rose, and everyone else did likewise. "The Princess Irina has returned. Long live Irina," the king proclaimed, raising his cup. Everyone raised their cups and cried, "Long live Irina." From where she stood, Irina could hear the noise of the crowd outside. Surprised, she looked through the open courtyard doors and saw the villagers clapping and cheering, their arms raised. They seemed so delighted, Irina couldn't help but smile and wave. "I suppose I've returned to all of them, not just the king and queen," she thought to herself. "To them, I am their princess."